From the creators of Relevant Magazine, this is the Relevant Podcast.
Then it came to me in a flash of light with the sycamore tree in the dead of night, the bottom bell in the longest day, in the hardest winter, in the falling rain. Sunlight now, sunlight now, sunlight now. Held my head up.
It's Good Friday, April 19th, and it's the Relevant Podcast. I'm your host, Cameron Strang, and here with me in our Orlando studios, on the ones and twos, our illustrious engineer, my brother, Chandler Strang.
Hello.
On the Skype line from Loverland, Virginia, Jesse Carey.
Hello, hello. That is a sun-kissed, relaxed introduction.
Joining us from Nashville, Tennessee, our senior editor, Tyler Huckabee.
Hey, everybody. No time to
And
talk.
just down the road, finally back with the family, author, speaker, podcaster, cowgirl extraordinaire, Annie F. Downs.
Good morning, Dad.
It is a good Friday indeed, because Annie is back.
Yeah.
Hey,
Thanks,
I want to tell you before we get going that today's show is brought to you by World Vision and their upcoming Global 6K for Water. It's not too late to sign up, y'all. It's a one-day event on May 4th where people from all over the world walk and run 6K in their own neighborhoods to bring lasting clean water to children in need. Every step you take is one they won't have to. You know, why are we doing 6K? 6K is the average distance women and kids in the developing world walk for clean water. Now, when you walk or run World Vision's Global 6K for Water, you provide life-changing clean water to one person in need through your registration fee. So no matter where you walk or run, you can be celebrating lives changed. It's really cool. And you can also get people to sponsor you, and you can raise a lot more than just your registration fee. The event takes place on May 4th, and our whole team at Relevant is actually running it here in downtown Orlando, near our home office. But you can run it in your hometown with your friends, by yourself, or host a group from your church or school. Just go to worldvision6k.org to search for groups in your area, to sign up, or to find out how to host your own. And hey, if you want to come down to Orlando and run with us on May 4th, visit worldvision6k.org/relevant, and you can find out the information there.
Can I say one thing about this? That yes. I'm not, this isn't me hedging, okay? Right. This is me just being real. Right. I, up until this week, was prepared to win this thing, prepare to shame, everyone who is generous enough to come down.
Yeah.
I had a setback. And that setback came in the form of those Mickey Mouse ice cream things at Disney World that I consumed.
With the M&M eyes.
Yeah, and I'll say this. There is nothing more satisfying than biting the ears off those things. Like, the ears are the perfect size. You just take in one bite. And, I didn't eat the heads. I just threw them away. And another round, ice cream vendor, another round.
Rich guy, just throwing away ice
Disney. Disney, just rack up a credit card bill.
And sneakers. We need some editors and ice cream.
That's right.
That's right.
That's wasteful
spending.
I consume nearly a dozen pairs of Mickey Mouse ears, and I'm very concerned about how it's going to affect my performance.
One day. You were there one day.
I soaked it all in.
If you really ate a dozen of those, I'd be so impressed, actually.
Annie, the only thing that's greater than what I can do athletically is in the world of competitive eating. If I any type of competition like that, I set my mind to, I will dominate, even if I get gravely ill or type 1 diabetes in the process. Nothing will stop me.
You can't get type 1 diabetes.
Well, you'd be surprised. You'd be surprised. See what it does in Mickey Mouse ears can do.
To explain to the families that we're doing this 6K for, that you don't even like the entire ice cream, but what is that part of it? You can't eat that part? Oh, no, it's edible. Is it bad? No, I just don't like this ice cream, which is the rest of the ice cream.
It just doesn't.
Yeah, it just didn't fit in my mouth.
I want everything bite-sized.
I
want bite-sized stuff.
So
can I have it? No, I threw it away.
It all hit me, Cameron. You know when it hit me that I've really damaged my performance is I brought the family. We're at your house poolside on Tuesday. I packed a lot into these couple days down in Orlando, and the new Johnny.
Tuesday you're at Disney.
Tuesday we're at Disney. Wednesday we were at I was at we were pooling it, paddleboarding, boating, doing a whole deal. And the Johnny Swim, their new album comes out this week, right?
Yep,
and Cameron was blasting it over the Bluetooth poolside. That Michael McDonald song came on, and where he's like, "Waiting for you," you know what I'm saying? He does the little background chorus. Chandler, maybe in post, we pipe in a little clip there. And
I think you did it fine.
And the yacht rock the glorious yacht rock tones of Michael McDonald are blasting out. The warm breeze, is blowing on the lake. And I am, probably 6 inches down in a yard bag full of like yellow popcorn, realizing the gravity of my arrogance that I can do this to my body. That I can do this to my body and expect to win a 6K. So all that to say is I will be participating. I am no longer as confident about the win. That's all.
I have hedged my bets as well because I was starting to, train and stuff like that. And like, okay, I'm going to run this thing. And then I forgot that I have my 9-year-old joining me. So I can't run full blast. I got to go at his pace. So
that worked out nice for you.
Back on the.
I'd love to see you keep up with Cohen's pace for a 6K. Something tells me you're going to be asking him to slow up a little bit.
4 miles? I don't think my unathletic 9-year-old can run 4 miles. I think we'll be doing a lot of walking.
He's got energy in him. He's got some juice in his boosters. He can do it.
That's true.
He's got kid energy. Kid energy.
Yeah,
he's got kid energy, but I think a kid energy can last for 4 miles.
You think?
Well, I mean, we're going to see.
I guess we will see.
Won't we?
May 4th.
We're about to know. We're about to have anecdotal evidence.
But are you going to join us, Annie? Are you going to be...
No, because I'm speaking at a conference in California, but they are having a race because they listen to the show. So they're doing one out there at the conference.
And are you going to be there like in spirit?
Totally. I will be doing what the rest of the world who isn't flying to Orlando is doing, which is participating at the same time on the same day in a different city.
The rest of the world.
Love it.
CNN cameras at the finish line.
We have a great show coming up for you today. Joining us later is movie star Rooney Mara. She stars in a new movie that just released called Mary Magdalene, and she plays the title character. It just hit theaters. Tyler Daswick spoke with her recently, and he's going to be bringing us part of that interview. And also the filmmaker, Garth Davis, will be joining us to talk about the movie. If you know Rooney Mara, she starred in The Girl with the Dragon Tattoo. She won an Oscar. I mean, she's a big deal.
Yeah, and Garth Davis, too. I think this is only his third feature. His first feature was Lion. Did you get anybody see Lion with Dev Patel?
Yeah. Mara was also in Lion.
She was also in that, and that was nominated for 6 Oscars. So it's a...
Oh, wow.
So both
of
them.
Well, we're bringing the big guns today because this is a big deal. This is our 700th episode today. It's crazy. We have officially joined the 700 Club.
Feels good. I think it was inevitable. I think we all saw this happening. The 700 Club was sort of the logical endpoint of all of this.
At some point, this show would merge with the 700 Club. That's
just always was a matter of time.
Indistinguishable with the brand.
That's crazy. 700. That's a lot of random conversations we've had.
Yeah, that's a lot of Jesse.
It's far too much. I think most people would agree.
No, not at all.
It's a dangerous amount.
No, when I thought about 700 episodes in my mind, I kind of thought that'll be better than having children. Like it's gonna be the best thing. And now that we're actually here, it is.
I was like, are you announcing something right now? Are you announcing that you're pregnant right now?
No, I mean, I don't think so.
And I will say this, now that it's here, I'm beginning to question my life choices. 700 is a lot. It is a lot.
So to celebrate our 700th episode, we have a special 700 Club themed game coming up later.
Oh, I can't wait.
Later on. So Huckabee will tell us about that. Moving the show along, it is time for... Okay, coming in at number 5 this week on the hot list, Georgetown students voted to add a tuition fee for slavery reparations this week. The students voted for an additional fee to be added to the cost of tuition that would be used to pay financial reparations to descendants of slaves that were sold by the school in the 1800s. Wow. Back in 1838, the school's presidents, a duo of Jesuit priests, sold 272 individuals that were enslaved by a local Jesuit order. Each semester, students will pay an extra $27.20 as part of a reconciliation contribution. Under the direction of a student board and the actual descendants of slaves, that money would be spent on community projects in areas where the descendants live today. Despite the vote, the administration itself has not committed to implementing the fee or creating the fund. That is interesting.
Yeah, and I think it sets a really incredible precedent, especially for a school that has a religious history, that was a school for Jesuit priests, Georgetown University in Washington, D.C. And for them to do something so awful, to have that in their past, and for the students, as a student council that brought this up for a vote, and the administration isn't ruling it out, but the students kind of took the lead on this, and determined a practical way to implement this, and it would fund some, cool community projects in the areas near the school where they've identified that the descendants of these 272 individuals live. So, I mean, it
seems like such a great next generation move to kind of teach all of us that are a little bit older than them and the ones coming behind them, like there is a way to make things right. And there's a difference between like taking some responsibility and taking all the ownership of it, right? Yeah. Like they're like, okay, we see some responsibility here. It wasn't our sin. It wasn't our mistake, but we will have some responsibility in making it right. And I think that's modeling it in such a healthy way to me.
Yeah. Well, that's kind of even what Kyle Korver wrote in the Players Tribune. And we talked about it last week. Is he's saying it wasn't something that I did, but I have a responsibility for my peers. I have a responsibility to do what's right and stand up for what's right.
Right.
Yeah.
And
awesome.
It's cool to see how this could maybe work. If this could work on a small level, on a campus level, it could provide an important model for larger communities.
That's right.
Even like bigger colleges, old historic churches, and possibly even cities, states, and eventually the government to try to institute something similar on a larger scale.
Yeah.
Yep. Yeah. Coming in number 4 this week on the hot list. This is crazy. When you ask your Alexa something and then she's like, I don't know, or whatever. Well, apparently they record all that, and Amazon is paying people to listen in on what users tell Alexa. So this report just came from Bloomberg Technology. Apparently the Echo device, it helps users answer questions, find information online, and use digital services by directing AI assistant Alexa through voice commands. The assumption is that those conversations between Alexa and users are kept private. But according to the report, thousands of Amazon employees, including some contractors, are tasked with listening to conversations, transcribing and annotating them, and then feeding them back into the software as part of an effort to eliminate gaps in Alexa's understanding of human speech and help it better respond to commands. The workers reportedly sign non-disclosure agreements that prevent them from discussing the program. But if you have
someone did, if we've got this much information.
a lot of them came anonymously, but a lot of them came forward. Yeah. And the thing is, when Bloomberg went to Amazon and said, listen, we're not going to tell you our sources, but these are people who work for you, told us this stuff. Amazon didn't deny it. They said, we have this program, and, they kind of alluded to, it's hinted to in the language. But, the scary thing is there was at least 2 of these people that came forward that were listening to things, and they think they heard something.
So they listen to everything, or do they just listen when we say answer questions or the answer is, I don't know?
Yeah. And a portion of those, are, selected for this program. But, the thing is, Alexa's always listening. And sometimes, like, after the question's answered, it's still inadvertently listening. Anyway, a couple of these people said they heard something that sounded like an assault happening, and they brought it to their superiors, and they're like, it's not our job to get involved with that. Even though they could have, they could have potentially stopped someone violent from committing crimes in the future. Amazon just said, oh, what are you going to do? It's really insidious.
And I think it's not just Amazon, right? Because when Zuckerberg was brought before that Senate committee, he refused to say one way or the other whether or not Facebook stops listening in when you stop using it to record. He wouldn't answer that question. So this is indicative of just a larger issue, I think, in the tech industry that is probably, like you alluded to, Jesse, it's probably in that language that you click that you don't read at the beginning. Like, right. You can do whatever you want with my information. But there's stuff in there that goes well beyond the bounds of what you would think normal terms of agreement would be. And it's getting longer. Those are getting longer all the time.
Right.
And I know, like, Facebook has denied this, and I think we've talked about it on the pod before about how, it has the technical capability of listening even when it's not activated if you have the app on your phone. But the other night, man, I was having a conversation with someone about, this is the kind of gripping conversations I'm having in my free time about how good Domino's pizza has gotten. Like, it's gotten, I don't know if you guys had it lately. I don't know. No. They redid the recipe. They figured out the box. They used to put those little,
the triangular things.
Yeah, the little Barbie house long tables in there, patio tables. They figure out the box so the cheese doesn't get squished. So they got a whole system. I watched it, Cameron, because of that episode of Ugly Delicious. Delicious, where David Chang,
he likes
they position themselves like basically Domino's is now a tech company that happens to make pizza, and it's fantastic pizza. Anyway, I get through a whole conversation about this because I'm watching basketball with friends. We're deciding where to order pizza, and I made the plea for Domino's. I lost out. But anyway, I swear, I opened my Facebook app. The first ad I saw was Domino's Pizza.
Yeah. It happens a lot. Happens a lot. It's weird.
And so Facebook has denied that they are listening to conversations and servicing ad, but a lot of people have very, very similar experiences with that.
But, Jesse, do you think? Oh, sorry, Cameron. Go ahead.
I was just saying, like, do you think that they were listening to you, or do you think that you just fit the exact profile of somebody who passionately loves Domino's?
That's the thing.
And they've targeted you other ways.
Yeah, it's like, okay, should we service this guy ads for this intriguing documentary series about climate change and the effects in indigenous societies, or a new series of books that are for the most intelligent, or this is a guy who's probably wanting some pizza right now. You know what? They're right. Look, everyone, check this out, man. Check out, they don't have those little patio tables in here because the cardboard's better.
I also want to say, if anybody at Amazon is listening in now, Tyler Huckabee, Nashville, Tennessee, and don't read too much into all those anime searches. Anime is a noble art form, and it's not weird. And even if it was weird, I wasn't doing it. That was a different Tyler. So don't worry about that.
Yeah.
All right, going to number 3 this week on the hot list. This is interesting. Kim Kardashian West is studying to become a criminal justice lawyer. The reality television icon and fashion mogul says the next step in her career will be turning her passion for prison reform into a full-time job. She's studying to take the notoriously difficult California bar with a 4-year internship at a San Francisco law firm, which will require a minimum of 18 hours of work a week. She said she was inspired to become a lawyer while working to secure the pardon of Alice Marie Johnson, the 62-year-old who received a life sentence for a first-time nonviolent drug offense. She's becoming the real deal. Look at that.
And dude, I don't this story had. Listen, I know that people have strong opinions about Kim Kardashian, but there's a lot of shade being thrown at this story, and I'm like, dude. This is a good, why is this a bad thing? Like, why is it a bad thing that someone who has a platform and doesn't need to go to law school, is deciding to do this for criminal justice reform?
Yeah.
I know her name.
She doesn't need to make money. She's doing this because she passionately believes about this as a justice issue. It's an issue of right and wrong, and she's wanting to make a positive difference. We should applaud people.
I mean, I'll be super impressed if she passes. Yeah. Between now and then, it's just like, it's one of those where it's like time will tell. But if she passes that bar exam, more power to you, Kim.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying.
She can't win because she for her entire career. People are like, well, what? She doesn't even have a job. She's just out there living off of, getting rich for doing nothing at all. And then she announces that she's actually going to get a real job that people have. And I was like, she can't do that. Who does she think she is?
It's
unfair.
Yeah, it was the same thing when some celebrity, announces they've kind of discovered faith or coming to Christianity, and they tweet something and people start nitpicking the theological nuance of it. And it's like, the person is trying to change their life here. We don't need to pick them apart over nothing. Even Van Jones, our guest on the last episode, he got dragged because he tweeted this. He said, I watched Kim Kardashian unleash the most effective, emotionally intelligent intervention that I've ever seen in American politics. That was his tweet in response to this. And he took a lot of heat for saying that. But I mean, look, say what you will about her or any other reality star that happens to have a lot of influence right now, but she met with the president of the United States in the Oval Office and helped, not only secure pardons for people that were serving unjust sentences, but also help get the First Step Act passed, which is a major step for criminal justice reform that the previous administration didn't implement. She's using her celebrity for something that there's bipartisan support for implementing justice reform change. And if it takes Kim Kardashian to push it forward and educate herself, then good for her, why, who cares, Yeah,
we should be applauding the celebrities and the leaders and the people who have power and fame to, if they're using their position and their platform to make a greater good, we should be applauding that.
if you ended up in court on a spurious charge, and you didn't do it, you're innocent, and you don't, so you end up in court, and then the doors. I know this isn't how it works, but the doors open and your lawyer walks in court. This is the big day, and your lawyer is Kim Kardashian West.
I'm
and
thrilled.
She walks up and she puts her hand on top of her ears and she says, "We're getting you out of here, babe."
Yes.
What? Are you pumped?
100%.
Yeah, I believe it.
100%. I think, yeah, you're right, Kim. If you're going to get me out of this because no one, you may not publicly love her, but no one is going to lose to Kim Kardashian. Win against Kim Kardashian. Everyone's going to lose to Kim Kardashian. So she walks in, you go, yeah, she's going to charm every person in this room, male and female alike. I'm great.
And don't
Which
forget,
is great because I'm innocent.
And don't forget, her dad was a incredibly famous and powerful lawyer.
Yeah.
I mean, she's got it in her blood.
Yeah, I
do think that'll be interesting again to see the intelligence level that we don't know exists in these women. Clearly, they're smarter than people give them credit for because they're millionaires and two of them are billionaires.
Yeah.
And so they're smarter than people give them credit for. But to have a job and pass a bar like a lawyer and become a lawyer is a next level of respect for a brain versus making a ton of money.
I've already made the decision that coming into my inevitable criminal trial for one day, for a variety of misdeeds, I will be representing myself. It will be the state versus Jesse Carey. But if that doesn't work out, I would love to get Kim like on a retainer or something pro bono. But
man, Jesse, 100% you would represent yourself. That doesn't surprise any of us. Of course, you try to represent yourself.
Those witnesses would crack under the heat of my cross examination.
All right, coming in number 2 this week on the hot list, Lorde, not the Lord, but the performer Lorde with the E at the end.
Oh, wait a minute. We might have to change this because I thought this was the Lord. This doesn't.
Lorde performed a rendition of The Sound of the Silence at a benefit concert in New Zealand. The You Are Us concert in Christchurch raised money for people affected by the recent mass shooting in the country, where a gunman opened fire on 2 mosques, killing dozens. Lorde was joined by fellow New Zealand singer-songwriter Marlon Williams, not Marlon Wayans.
I wanted it to be Marlon Wayans so much.
If this was the Lord and Marlon Wayans,
the Lord and Marlon Wayans
covering Simon and Garfunkel, that'd be number 1.
The long-awaited collaboration.
Yeah, that's number 1 on the hot list for sure.
The long-awaited collaboration of any of the Wayans family and Lorde. Here it is.
Yeah.
Before the performance, Lorde told the crowd, "To our Muslim community, to our brothers and sisters, you have been so strong and so resilient and so graceful, and we are with you." Here's a clip.
Hello, darkness, my old friend. I've come to talk with you again, because a vision softly creeping left its seat while I was sleeping, and the vision that was planted in my brain still remains within the sound of silence. In restless dreams I walked alone.
Good.
Yeah,
Marlon Wayans is very, very talented.
He's
I had no idea.
I love a good harmony. Simon and Garfunkel are always good for a good harmony line. And gracious,
and any of the Wayans. I mean, it's a really Damien,
family
Marlon
does not miss.
Yeah, the harmonies in that family.
Yeah, that song has been ruined for me because of the scene in Old School where it's like the scene is a parody on The Graduate where the same thing happens.
Right.
But sad sack Will Ferrell, whose fiance has left him and is now living in a bathrobe, re-gifting his wedding presents to his friends. He gets shot by the donkey tranquilizer and falls to the. And as he's sinking in the bathrobe, his face is semi-conscious, and that song is playing. And that's ruined it forever because it's a gorgeous song. It's one of the great songs in the American song catalog. But seeing sad sack Will Ferrell with a tranquilizer dart in his neck sinking to the bottom of a pool has ruined it for. I don't know. It's kind of improved it because now I was like, oh, this is not so dark after all. This is pretty hilarious.
All right, coming in number 1 this week on the hot list, Tim Tebow profiled Chip and Joanna Gaines for Time's 100 Most Influential People list. The issue was released this week, and it featured featuring entertainers like Ariana Grande and Sandra Oh, world leaders like Prime Ministers Benjamin Netanyahu and Jacinda Ardern, and even an anonymous Honduran refugee who spent a few months fighting to be reunited with her 18-month-old son, who was separated from her at the border. Among those listed are fixer-upper stars Chip and Joanna Gaines, who are heralded as, quote, incredible people with incredible hearts. Each profile was written by another well-known figure, and the Gaineses was written by Tim Tebow, who met the couple when he was on the set of Fixer Upper. Tebow highlighted the Gaineses' faith, saying it, quote, keeps them focused on what truly matters in life. People matter. Loving people matters. And Joe and Chip are amazing at loving people. There you go. Heartfelt.
Annie, I'm going to give you a list of people that you can have Domino's Pizza with one night. And you have to tell me which one you choose. Tim Tebow, Chip and Joe, the Property Brothers, Steph and Aisha Curry. There's only one right answer here. Who do you choose? Domino's Pizza.
Steph and Aisha Curry. Steph and Aisha Curry, no question.
The correct answer is the Property Brothers.
Is that the wrong answer, Jesse?
The correct was Property Brothers.
I'd go Chip and Joe. I'd go Chip
Really?
and Joe.
I thought Annie would say Tim Tebow.
Yeah.
No, I really liked him, but Steph and I really like Aisha Curry. Like, I think Steph's really cool too, but I think Aisha Curry and I are going to be friends anyway. And so I'm like, let's kick it off with some Domino's.
Cameron, you'd go Chip and Joe.
I would. You know, they're getting their own network.
Yeah.
Did you see that was announced?
Yeah.
Next year it'll be rolling out. They're taking over the DIY network. They're going to get their own network. I don't know.
Jesse,
and also, I don't know. With that being announced, can we say Johnny Swim has a show on it?
Yeah, I was about to say a lot of our friends have shows on it.
Yeah. Who else can you say, Annie? Who else?
I can't. But a lot of our friends have shows on it.
Sworn to secrecy.
Yeah, it's going to be a great. I mean, I think it's going to be probably a massive hit of a channel.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I think it's baked into the whoever decided to pitch that just saw dollar signs. Like this is well
the guy. So the story goes that a guy bought the Discovery Channel family of channels, a year or so ago, just as Fixer Upper was ending. But he was a huge fan of Chip and Joe themselves and wanted badly to keep them involved with the networks and stuff. And in those conversations, the idea of he offered, what if you had your own channel? And they said, sure.
Yeah, I can't wait. I mean, it's bold doing the shiplap hour for 1 hour prime time every night. I mean, it's about 3 and
the shiplap.
It's about 3.5 hour block.
Like, is there shiplap? And then they you have to
Is
guess.
it like live PD, Jesse, where we just watch Chip and Joe from a studio?
It's Chip. No. They're like, okay, we found one. And they're like running into a dilapidated old barn. And he's like, okay, is it shiplap? And he just swings a sledgehammer through the back wall. He's like, no shiplap here. Let's go. And they just run. He's got like a GoPro and like flashlight. There's like cop style,
Who's back in the headquarters that we go to throw to commercial? Like on Live PD.
That's the Property Brothers. They're waiting there, commentating
the Property
everything.
Brothers are there.
And the great thing is like once
I'd like to audition for that part. I'd like to audition for the part where we throw to commercial on Shiplap Hour. That's the Live PD version of this channel.
Here's how. I mean, if they don't find any in the first through old barns that they come across, they just like walk up to a random house and Chip kicks the door down. Like the family's in there eating dinner and they're like, Chip Gaines, what are you doing here? He's like, is there shiplap? And he just smashes a wall with a sledgehammer. He's like, no shiplap here. Let's go. And he just runs out of the house. And he kicks the neighbor's door down. And it's mostly just breaking and entering and home invasions for about an hour and a half. They rarely find shiplap. There's not a lot of shiplap out there in the wild, believe it or not. But great entertainment.
One thing I really liked about this, the time list is the pairings of like profile to profile E. Like I thought that like Tim Tebow to the Gaines, that makes a lot of sense. Yeah. I think Sandra O's was written by Shonda Rhimes, like that, which makes a lot of sense too. Jesse, when you make the list. When you inevitably on your Time 100 list, what well-known influencer are you going to have write your profile?
Easy. My attorney, Kim Kardashian, who will use it as a
Kim
way
Kardashian West.
Kim Kardashian West as a way to exonerate me publicly, even if the court system has long decided I'm very, very guilty of everything the state has accused me of. That's a simple question. Annie, who would be yours?
Who would be mine? I would pick Jimmy Fallon. I'd let Jimmy Fallon write it.
Oh, that's cool.
Be an interesting one.
It recorded over a riveting session of Lemonade Pong played in the Tonight Show studios.
Right.
Yeah. Cameron, who would write yours?
I have no idea. I'm blanking. I don't know.
You got to come up with somebody who's Shaq.
Anybody.
I mean,
Jerry
but-
Seinfeld. Jerry Seinfeld.
Yeah, there we go.
Oh, Jerry. Oh, yeah. That'd be a good one.
Yeah. He would like the great thing about Jerry Seinfeld. I love it how he keeps like interviews and stuff like the comedians and cars like kind of surfacey because that's like kind of fun. Like I don't need for some people you want to hear the backstory. Some people would like this is fun for like a breezy. Type
Why
of
not like
thing.
Shaq
Yeah.
or someone like that?
I think he'd be. I don't think he'd be very articulate in his writing. I think Jerry would craft
rude.
a good prose. I think.
Yeah.
I think.
You think all those people who wrote those 100 things wrote them themselves?
Yeah, I think that I don't like. I think there's
0%.
probably some teams involved on some of these.
Yes.
So Annie, you don't think Tim Tebow has written his own books with his own two meaty hands?
hands. Why do you have to add the adjective? Oh my goodness.
Yeah, I hate
He's got
that.
giant hands. Have you seen
yeah?
Tim
Does he?
Tebow? He's been putting on a concerning amount of muscle these days. Like he's starting to look like
Too big.
he's
Like
starting to look a little too big.
You know what? Maybe he's working to reboot the old TV show Gladiators, where they battle.
starting
with
to
the
look
big
He
Oh,
giants
does
and
have.
stuff.
He does have some show like that. He does have a
Yeah, $1 Million
there's a-
Mile.
Yeah.
Maria
Wait,
Taylor.
Huck,
yeah.
who would write your thing? Who would write
You
your
know,
piece?
a lot of people went for the layups here. They went for the easy one, like Chris Christie handled Donald Trump's. Elizabeth Warren wrote AOC's. I kind of want. I'm not afraid of my haters. I want to get one of my many well-known enemies to
So any of us.
handle my profile. Yeah,
All right,
somebody
I'll
out
do
there
it.
So
who's
any
got-
of my
I'll do it.
coworkers
got
that
it
are
out for me.
listening.
I would like. I hereby call right now my estranged sister Sarah Huckabee Sanders to be the one who handles my. Bring it on. Bring it on.
The great thing about having her.
Words can't hurt me, Sarah.
Hey, here's the risky thing about her. She could just make stuff up. Like she could just tell
Right.
bold-faced lies and no one's going to care.
No fear. No fear. And if she does, I would also like to call in my lawyer,
She
Kim
could-
Kardashian West.
She can just fabricate things, and she's very good at that. So it's a fantastic choice.
All right, well that'll do it for.
It's the hot list. The hot list.
I think that one. I love that one because it really shows Chandler's singing ability the most of all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah.
His singing ability
vocally
is similar
pleasing.
to Tim Tebow's writing ability.
Hey, no one on this show said
team
Tim
behind
didn't
it.
write those pieces or his
Did
books
team.
with his meaty
So
hands.
someone implied it.
No,
there
I
was
just-
one person on here who implied it.
I was not talking about Tim and the Gaines. I just said across the board, I am certain that Shaq could turn in a piece about Cameron Strang that could be edited enough.
None of us even considered the fact that Tim Tebow didn't sit down at his MacBook and open up a Google Doc.
I'm sure he did.
And
Jesse,
turn
do you,
around a
do you
tight
think
300
that
words.
these very large athletes, old people, they have like those cricket phones where the buttons are really big. Do you think they have
Yes.
special laptops or keyboards for like people with big meaty hands that like they can't get on the little normal size keys?
Yeah, I mean, I know for a fact. I one time saw Tim Tebow do a cover of The Sound of Silence on a keyboard on a piano, and it was very disoriented because he was playing on the one that Tom Hanks used in the film Big, and he's just shuffling around. It was unbelievable,
But with his
unbelievable performance.
hands.
Him
Somebody
and
else
his-
uses their feet. Tim Tebow
Yeah.
uses individual fingers.
Yeah, his
Yes.
giant meaty finger. The great thing is Damon Wayans provided the harmony. And,
Harmony is-
man,
is
just not
beautiful.
a dry eye. Not
Angelic.
a dry
Just
eye.
beautiful.
It's like the Lord
Like
himself
a
was singing it.
tranquilizer gun to the neck. A tranquilizer-
All right, stay tuned. Coming up next, Rooney Mara joins us.
It's not my baby, no te queda nude, no te queda nona anymore. I wanna leave you, baby, don't you leave me, baby, don't you love me anymore.
Hey, thanks for listening to today's episode of the Relevant Podcast. We're all family here. Let's talk. If you don't subscribe to Relevant Magazine, you're missing out. We are doing a flash sale this weekend only. Easter weekend, we're doing a flash sale with our best deal ever. If you've ever thought about subscribing, this is the time to do it. Go to relevantmagazine.com/flash sale and you can get a year of Relevant for only $10. It's $27.99 normally. And for the next 3 days, It's only $10 specifically at relevantmagazine.com/flash sale. Go do it now. We know you'll like it and you'll be supporting Relevant and the podcast that you're listening to. Thanks, everyone.
Why you always say that you never let go? I never go back, no, no, no. I never go back. I never go back, no, no, no. I never go back.
You're listening to Dennis Lloyd. The song is Never Go Back. At the beginning of the podcast, you heard Beck with Saw Lightning. This week's episode is also brought to you by Quip. One of the most important things we do for our health every day is brushing our teeth, yet most of us don't do it properly. Quip is a better electric toothbrush created by dentists and designers. Quip was designed to make brushing your teeth more simple, affordable, and even enjoyable. People brush too hard and some electric toothbrushes are too abrasive, so Quip's sensitive sonic vibrations are gentle enough on your gums. Up to 90% of us don't brush for a full 2 minutes and don't clean evenly, so a built-in 2-minute timer in the Quip toothbrush pulses every 30 seconds to remind you when to switch sides, helping guide a full and even clean. 3 out of 4 of us use bristles that are old, worn out, and ineffective. That's why brush heads are automatically delivered on a dentist-recommended schedule every 3 months for just $5. That's why I love Quip. I use it every day. And why they're backed by over 20,000 dental professionals. Quip starts at just $25, and if you go to getquip.com/relevant right now, you get your first refill pack for free with a Quip electric toothbrush. That's your first refill pack for free at getquip.com/relevant. Go do it.
Exactly 100 episodes ago, you gave me a Quip toothbrush, Cameron, and I love it.
Right. On our 600th.
Happy 100 episodes, teeth.
They're looking great.
Thank you so much for noticing. Thank
Before
you.
our merger with the Robertson family, it was,
Oh, the Pat Robertson. I got it.
It finally happened.
I was like,
That was
oh,
exciting.
Or the Duck
I thought you
Dynasty.
meant Duck Dynasty.
Well, it's the holy trinity of broadcasting: Duck Dynasty, the 700 Club, and now the Relevant Podcast, all one, two, and 3 of the Wayans brothers. Just for the harmonies, they're unbelievable.
Actress Rooney Mara stars in the title role of the new biblical film Mary Magdalene, which just hit theaters. The film tells the story of Magdalene's important relationship with Jesus, who is played by Joaquin Phoenix, and what we can still learn from it today. Our own Tyler Daswick recently spoke with Rooney and the film's director, Garth Davis, whose directorial debut, Lion, was nominated for 6 Oscars. They talked about the movie and why Mary's story is so important. Welcome, Daz. Tell us about it.
Hey everyone, how's it going?
Hi, Daz.
Hey, Tyler.
Daz will do it.
He will. He'll watch it too.
Daz, you've climbed quite the ladder in your tenure here. You know, originally hired for eating waffles in a setting on the pod, now interviewing some of the biggest movie stars in the
I
world.
believe it was pancakes, wasn't it?
What's the difference?
Yeah, it was
exactly
pancakes.
true. That's true. It's true. It's pretty much the same
Daz,
batter.
real quick, have you eaten a pancake since then? That fateful day.
The answer is no. But Mary Magdalene, have you guys been following this movie?
Yes.
Yeah.
Following, yes, but it's not actually playing in Nashville yet.
Yeah, it's still expanding, still coming out, and this is kind of a different Bible movie than I think a lot of people are going to be used to. Before this interview with Rooney Mara and Garth Davis, I kind of looked at the canon of Bible movies, and the vast majority of them, if not all of them, are about dudes. We've had Jesus movies, we've had a movie about the Apostle Paul, we've had movies that give special attention to Luke and Peter, but from beginning to end, Mary Magdalene is about how this woman sees Jesus, and it makes a difference in the movie. There's this early scene where Mary leaves her home and has made the decision to follow Jesus and the disciples, and she shows up in their camp, and the camera catches the reaction shots of all these dudes who have really just been in this like male only community, and they're all like stunned, confused, kind of angry that this woman is showing up. And it communicates right away that this was something really radical that was going on for Magdalene to enter into this and follow Jesus with all of these men. And so I asked Rooney Mara, who plays Magdalene in the movie, about offering that female perspective. And she had some good thoughts. Let's listen.
And I remember just like walking up to that group of men being like, oh my God, this would have been absolutely terrifying. to just go and join this like group of men would have been really, it was definitely took a lot of bravery for her to leave home and do that for them. We've never seen that time period really, or that world from a female perspective. And I think the male and female perspective are quite different, certainly during that time. So I think there's a lot of value in seeing it through women's point of view.
I don't think we've ever had someone talk about being having a role in like a Christian film or a Bible related movie and talk about the fear that they would experience approaching Jesus and the disciples.
Yeah, because that's one of the themes of the film too, is kind of patriarchy and how it's existed since you know the time of Jesus and the disciples.
I think that Annie, you'd probably attest to how much things have changed since then. Since now, there's like total equity among the genders in all these Christian spaces.
Right.
Ever since,
right? I can't imagine. I do just love the idea of. I can't wait to see this because I do think that is an under considered part of the Gospels is, I mean, how many women, and it's true of some men too, but how many women are told stories of in the New Testament and we don't know their names? You know, the woman at the well, the Samaritan woman, you know, like there's all these women, the woman caught in adultery that aren't named. And so I love that Mary Magdalene has a name in this film. Sounds like it's going to bring so much of her perspective.
Yeah. And for my experience watching the movie, it did take a little bit of recalibration in that respect. You're so used to watching one of these Bible stories on screen, and the focus is Jesus. And in this movie, you have Joaquin Phoenix, one of the best actors of our generation, playing Jesus. But it's really clear this is not Jesus's movie. This is not Joaquin Phoenix's movie. This is about Rooney Mara and Mary Magdalene. So you kind of have to get used to that. At least I did as I was watching it. So the focus then is not Jesus. It's about Mary finding her purpose, building a relationship with Christ. And especially if you've watched tons of faith movies, you kind of have to adjust to that. And the director of this movie, Garth Davis, he had some good perspective on that adjustment.
I found it really moving to see, I mean, you could probably talk about this already, but Mary just trying to find a way to express her calling. You know, she just had this, she couldn't, and it was not, and she was kind of pushing up against tradition as well. So it was very fascinating. And I think a lot of women today can relate to that in a lot of cultures and even in our culture. So I think it's the same problems that we're dealing with today is something that Mary faced.
I think he touches right there on the most affecting part of the movie. It's what you guys were just talking about. This is a 2,000-year-old story, but it's modern. This is a woman fighting within a male-dominated structure to claim authority in the church.
Yeah.
So I asked the two of them, both Rooney and Garth, outright what parallels they see between Mary's struggle in the movie and the struggles that women are facing, not just in the church, but in general today in terms of, you know, having to take ownership and fight for authority. But I liked Davis's answer a lot. Here's what he said.
For me, there's a couple of things that I think have direct parallels. And it's how people project their idea of what they think religion's going to bring to the world and to society. And I think that's a fascinating part of this film. You know, when you're in amongst the disciples, how everyone has such a different idea of what the coming of the kingdom is going to be. And I think I think it's so true of today as well. And they're kind of very convinced of it, you know. What I loved about Mary is that she just chose to be in the moment and to kind of trust, you know, and it was a completely different way of, being a part of that, you know, very powerful movement of faith at the time.
He's lighting on the main distinction the movie makes between Mary Magdalene and the other disciples. So for the others, the kingdom of God is going to be this political movement, this physical establishment, but through the course of the movie, Mary comes to understand that Jesus is there to rescue people's hearts. She kind of catches that eternal vision of what the kingdom of God looks like. And because of that, she kind of gets this special understanding on the level relationship with Jesus that the other disciples don't. And that leads to all of the friction and conflict of the movie among that community. So it just comes to mind in sort of what he says, like, how often today do we see female leaders in the church not taken seriously or attacked or maligned just because they have expertise or knowledge or a perspective that the men around them don't?
I mean, yeah. So, yeah, I think that's fascinating. I love and the real truth is, Daz, and I'm sure you've seen this in the film and, it's in your real life. It is the combo of both that makes for the most strength. It's what the women and what Mary Magdalene felt and inferred and what her feminine side could experience there, combined with the men. That is when it's strongest. And so I think that's the sweetest spot, is when leaders are respecting each other and hearing what each other is experiencing. So I think that's really important right now. And my hope is that as men and women can see this film, that they will draw that line too to today, and not just consider that like a Mary Magdalene thing.
I almost want to like follow up on that. And I want to ask, like, what steps can men in the church and in leadership, Annie, take to build a relationship that is more complementary in that way you're talking about?
Gosh, you guys might have answers for this too, because I certainly am not the expert for all conversations about women, but as the woman here, I think part of it is just listening. It's just having these conversations and listening to what women are experiencing. Because so often I will say to my friends that are in ministry here at my church here or at other places, and I'll explain some experience I had, and they'll go, "Wait, that happened? Wait, like I didn't even see that, or I didn't know that." And so I think part of it is just having conversations with the women leaders in your church or in your community and seeing what they are seeing and believing them when they say it.
Yeah.
What would y'all say? I mean, all of y'all are dudes in leadership somewhere and have women in your lives. What would you say?
Yeah. I mean, I would echo that. I mean, to listen, and genuinely ask for, insights and perspectives that may be different than what I might experience day to day, like genuinely seeking out alternative perspectives, because, as cliche as it sounds, you don't know what you don't know. And, but you can limit what you don't know by listening to voices who've lived it and who do know,
And I think something that I've been thinking about, Annie, and Daz, I believe you and I was talking to you about this just a couple of days ago. As a matter of fact, a few days ago, my wife called a guy in our that we were with out on some misogynistic comments that he was making, and rightfully so. He was being kind of a jerk about about an issue, and that makes people uncomfortable. That's like, it's not, nobody likes to hear that they've said something sexist that feels very personal, and it's natural for men to get defensive when they're called out on that. I understand that. But part of listening is going to involve you accepting that, oh yeah, I am going to be part of the problem here, and I'm going to have to correct. If this was easy, it would have already happened, but it's hard instead. So that's going to mean facing some uncomfortable truths. And if you're being made to feel uncomfortable because of things that are being said about you by a woman, that doesn't mean she's wrong. That's a sign that you need to be paying actually more attention and consider the possibility that you are part of the problem in a substantive way.
Yeah. And I don't know if y'all saw this, but this exact thing happened to me last weekend, where someone on Twitter asked me why I didn't have more diversity on my podcast. Asked very kindly and was really polite, and we had a really good dialogue. But the truth is, I had the choice to either be defensive or recognize that there are blind spots in my life. Yeah. And places that I don't know everything, and I don't see what other people see. And so it is not fun, right? I mean, it's what you said, Huck. It's not fun. But if we want to be healthy, grown people, you have to recognize there are things other people see in you that you don't see in yourself as easily, and to listen to them when there is correction. So listening, to me, is the start of this whole thing.
Yeah. And I think leaning into discomfort actually takes us well into our final clip. The last thing I was interested in the interview was Rooney's Rooney Mara's relationship with the character. It's
The last thing you were interested in. There was a lot more talking. The last thing you were interested in.
I mean, the final point of conversation was Rooney Mara's relationship with Mary. It's a big deal to play such a figure. And so Rooney Mara was. She mentioned that she grew up Catholic. She went to Sunday school, but as an adult, she left the church and doesn't identify as religious. And she says she's spiritual, but in terms of like religious structure and institution, she's totally apart from all that. So I was curious, in terms of her taking the part, what purpose she found in it, and her answer surprised me. Here it is.
I don't know that I went into it with any sort of mission statement or idea of. I sort of had so much baggage going into it, just with what I already knew about or thought I knew about the character and the story. And so I really wanted to go into it with a clean slate and just sort of discover as I went along, which I did. And it was really cool to sort of rediscover a lot of it's weird to call them characters, but, just learning even about Jesus, like what I thought I knew, about Jesus. And it was really cool to just sort of let myself be open and discover things as I went along. And I was surprised by the things that I found and how not dissimilar it was to a lot of the spiritual things that I follow or believe in now as an adult. I was really sort of surprised by that.
I think you talk about leaning into discomfort and the rewards of that. To me, that's the sign of a faith adjacent movie done right. I mean, Rooney Mara doesn't consider herself a Christian at all, but she found connecting points to the themes and subjects and characters in this movie.
And not only that, like, I think speaking for, because I got a chance to see the film as well, Mary Magdalene's a figure who's been maligned by history,
Right.
I mean,
Go there, Jesse.
Daz, as you've pointed out in something you've written about this film, dating back to medieval popes calling her a prostitute or a sinful woman. People have all these misconceptions about her. But, look, today's Good Friday. Sunday is Easter Sunday. Mary Magdalene plays a central role in the story that will be celebrated this weekend. She is the person to announce the resurrection of Jesus Christ. She was chosen for that. And to have her maligned, it is unfortunate, but I like what Rooney said there. Come into this fresh. Come in there with no baggage or preconceptions about Mary, her character, and this story, and you might actually get a fresh perspective. I know I did watching it, a fresh perspective.
Did you, Jesse? You feel different about her?
Oh yeah, absolutely. She was a character I never really thought about in the Bible, and now I see how central to the God. Like I said, look at what happened, or what we're going to celebrate on Easter Sunday. And look who the Bible, God chose to be the one to announce that to humanity. And she's one of those voices. And that's an important thing that I think the church needs to celebrate this weekend, more than any.
My goodness, I'm ready for an altar call, man.
Come on, Jesse.
Let's go.
I was also going to say, Jesse, God chose her to be the one to announce it, but also she chose to be there.
Yeah.
Right? Like, I think it says so much about her that she chose to be at the garden tomb that morning when she could have been anywhere.
How many of the 12 men showed up to the garden tomb that morning? How many of those 12 dudes that followed Jesus around for all those years showed up? No, it was Mary Magdalene, and her faithfulness, has been rewarded with indignity by history.
And it says, I'm not going to remember exactly, but it's I think it's Mark, but it says in Mark that Mary Magdalene watched Jesus be buried as well. And so she's standing there watching him get put in the tomb, and she's there when she thinks he's the gardener and he's resurrected, and they're talking.
And what are the disciples doing? Doubting, cowering, betraying, and who's the one?
And then for history has turned around and told the story backwards.
Yeah. I think it's John Ortberg who pointed out that since Mary Magdalene was the first one to see Jesus, and until she told anybody else who believed, she was the entirety of the church in the whole world. For a few brief, she was the first and only Christian the reason that we're all here was the only reason we're here is because she preached. She told people
for a brief few hours, one soul held the truth of the gospel. Think about that. One person knew he's risen.
That's crazy.
Mary's OG.
Yeah,
Yes.
it's an important story, and it's so cool to see talent like
Mary's the original hipster. Think about
Yeah.
it. Like she knew about Jesus before anybody
Before
even talked
The
to her.
original hipster.
She knew about the resurrection before the reresurrection was cool, and it was
You know
cool
what I'm saying?
instantly.
You guys believe in the risen Jesus? Cool.
I've seen the empty tomb, homies. The stone was rolled like he said it was. Yeah.
All right. Well, Mary Magdalene is out now. It's rolling out to more cities every week. Make sure to check it out if it comes to your city.
That was a great interview, Daz.
Yeah. Thanks a lot. Daz,
Thanks, Ty.
that was Rooney Mara and filmmaker Garth Davis. There you go. Stay tuned. Up next, our 700 Club game.
I sure don't want you back. We ain't no perfect match, but sometimes I imagine you here. Oh, we left until we showed that we tried to get us renowned. It's those little things that I hold dear.
The Bible's full of motifs: grace, sacrifice, the cross, but one of the most overlooked symbols in Scripture is actually trees. In Reforesting Faith, the new book from Dr. Matthew Sleeth, the author looks at the ways trees have been clear-cut from Christian sermons, theology, and literature, even redacted from the modern biblical text. Find out who's behind this theology in Reforesting Faith, available wherever books are sold. All proceeds benefit reforestation efforts around the globe.
Brag about the things you've done.
You're listening to Johnny Swim. The song is Souvenir. It's from their brand new album, Moonlight, which releases today. Go get it. It's perfect for your weekend soundtrack. Okay, as we've been talking about, this is a very special episode. It is our 700th episode. We are now part officially of the 700 Club. And to celebrate that, Tyler Huckabee has taken it upon himself to come up with a game that the show rundown literally says, game description goes here. So I have no idea what we're doing. Tyler Huckabee, tell us, what are we doing? What is the game today to celebrate our 700th episode?
Okay, so we are playing a game called Who World Order, which has been described by Jesse as very high concept.
Yeah,
Can I just say this?
about.
This game has like 6 layers in it. Like, this is the most high, like, because Tyler and I talked about
It's
some
like
game
a good
ideas.
dip. It's like a good dip. It's got the
just-
bean layer, the sour cream layer,
Oh, sure.
cheese
And
layer.
Yeah, and we're going all the way to the final bean layer, and then the chip cracks at the the bowl. Right
So,
there.
Holly,
That's
I
how
hope,
far.
I hope you came ready.
This is a
I hope you
chip
came ready,
cracking
Holly.
game. This
All right,
is
so
a chip.
joining us is a listener, Holly Sudsmo. Is that your name?
Sunsmo.
Welcome.
Yeah.
Where are you calling us from?
I am in the Twin Cities in Minnesota.
Is it a nice
excellent, Holly.
85-degree sunny day there?
The high is 52 today.
52.
Oh, that's nice, though, isn't
That
it?
could be worse.
Saturday's supposed to get up to 69, so I'm looking forward to that.
Yes, girl.
Wow.
Get out in that.
What do you do there in the Twin Cities?
I'm a stay-at-home mom, and
Very
I
cool.
homeschool my 2 teenage daughters.
Oh, wow.
And I am involved in my church. I lead the women's Bible study, and I sing on the worship team. So
Nice.
Yes, Holly.
That's
Get it,
busy.
girl.
How familiar are you with the 700 Club?
I have heard of it and seen little bits of it, but not a lot.
That's
Good.
approximately my knowledge as well, Holly. So we're going to be good.
Well, the irony there, Annie, is you're going to be playing Holly in this game.
No, why do you always make me play against people?
That's all right.
Holly, I'm sorry.
Holly,
You're
listen.
evenly matched.
Listen, and if
all right.
you win, you will receive, because this is going to be the default. I didn't run this by anybody. I just came to me, but I think the default prize for any game we play, because the last game we played was such a huge hit, is your own copy of How We Fit In, this true Strang
Oh,
family story.
wow.
That's a good idea.
If you win,
I'm all over
DM
that. I would read that.
Okay,
It's a great read,
It's a great
Holly. It
read.
really
And
is.
in your homeschooling, I think your children, your students would benefit from a history
Children
lesson
/ your
they ain't going to learn in the public schools. I'll tell you that.
Yeah,
no
that's
one's
right.
teaching this history.
They're not learning it
okay?
in private schools either, to be fair.
This history is off the books. Okay?
Yeah.
Too hot for
The
history.
beauty of homeschooling is I can pick my own curriculum. So
Well, there we go.
that might be
That's exactly right.
This is a
That's
textbook.
extracurricular.
This is a very salacious textbook. So Holly, if you win in that DM thread on Twitter, send us your address and you will receive a copy of this book.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
Even if you lose, Holly, send your address. They'll mail you.
It's pretty low stakes. Too.
Yeah, go ahead.
We
Go
might
ahead and
send it a
over
little
your address.
faster if you win or something.
Stakes, in other words, the stakes could not be lower.
All right, Huckabee, what's the rules of this game?
All right,
what
let's
are we
explain the game. Now there are. I hope everyone brought their thinking caps. It's not super high concept, but you need a little bit of history first. So here's how the game works. In 1991, infamous televangelist and 700 Club founder Pat Robertson published a book called New World Order, which is an analysis of the current geopolitical arena that explores the meanings of a new world order developing in Europe, the Middle East, and the U.S.
Well, hold on. When you say the analysis of a current, and I notice this is in quotes, so I'm assuming this is from the back cover of the book.
This is from the back of the book. Copy.
When it says analysis of the current geopolitical arena, mind you, this book was written in 1991. So
Yeah. So 27, 28 years ago.
Current for its time.
Yeah.
But as we'll discover, many of its themes have never been more prevalent than they are today.
Wow.
Okay.
Holly,
1
I
year
don't know what's
earlier-
happening here either. So
One year earlier, in
hold hands, it'll be
1990, a conspiracy theorist named A. Ralph Epperson self-published a book of his theories also called The New World Order, which purports to uncover hidden and sinister meetings behind all symbols on the Great Seal of the United States.
Oh, I want to read that.
Right.
Interesting.
50 years before them both, beloved science fiction writer
I just
H.G.
want to tell
Wells.
for everyone keeping track at home, you have pierced the cheese layer at top. You've gone through salsa. You're through the one layer of ground beef, and you're getting to the sour cream. Continue, Tyler.
Sour cream.
Guacamole. Next stop.
50 years before them both, beloved science fiction writer H.G. Wells, who wrote Time Machine, wrote a book called The New World Order that expressed the idea that a new world order should be formed to unite the nations of the world to bring peace and end war.
So hold on. We're 7 minutes in the intro to this game. Your chip is now so far into the nacho layer. You have to decide: do I pry it back up, risk breaking the chip, or do you abandon the chip, let the layers on the top sink in, and let some other party guest find it later when it gets to more acceptable level? It's at that point, because if you pull the chip up now, you know it's snapping in half. Or do I go get a plastic fork and fish it out?
The weight.
Yeah,
It's that bean layer on the bottom. That bean layer on the bottom always breaks a chip. Yeah,
that's how many layers we're in.
You're right,
And,
Jess.
continue, Tyler, because we're not even close to finishing the concept.
So, 3 books called The New World Order. 1 by Pat Robertson, founder of the 700 Club.
Yeah.
1 by A. Ralph Epperson, self-published conspiracy theorist. 1 by beloved sci-fi writer H.G. Wells. I'm going to read you an Amazon user review from one of these 3 books, and you have to tell me if the review in question was written about 700 Club founder Pat Robertson's New World Order, conspiracy theorist A. Ralph Epperson's New World Order, or sci-fi writer H.G. Wells' New World Order.
Wow. This is how
My
we're
chip
celebrating
is
our
for sure
700th
broken.
episode. This is
My
great.
chip is for sure broken.
In a weird way, I can think of no more fitting way than a completely insane game loosely based in the world of Christian culture. I mean, literally
seems
the
terrible.
perfect tribute. Yeah.
I love it. All right.
Holly, do you understand the rules?
I certainly do.
Okay.
Andy,
you are the
understand the
only
rules?
one who does. No, I'm just kidding.
Yeah. I understand them. It broke my chip, but I understand them.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the goal. That means you're doing everything right.
Annie
So,
abandoned her chip a few minutes ago. It's just
I will say
down
this.
there on the bottom.
There's a broken chip slowly getting soggy midway through the layer dip bowl. That's where I'll leave it.
Yeah. Okay, we're ready. Who's up first?
I'm leaving the
all right,
party.
Holly,
at this
you will
point.
go first. Are you ready?
Okay, I am ready.
All right. So here's the Amazon user review. Not an easy read. I'll have to read it again. This information will open your eyes beyond the typical political understandings. The author gets into the money sources that may be seeking world political control and domination. You think that was from Pat Robertson's New World Order, A. Ralph Epperson's New World Order, or H.G. Wells' New World Order?
Mind you, the first words are not an easy read.
Yeah. My gut instinct is to go with Epperson.
Yeah, I agree. I would.
No,
too.
I'm going Pat Robertson.
Well, wait your turn, Annie.
Oh, sorry.
Fortunately, because Annie was correct. That was actually Pat Robertson's.
No!
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Not known for his prose. More of a big picture guy.
He's up the cut.
but known for the money conversation. So that's what got me.
Annie's got.
yeah.
Oh, Annie's. I think Annie buried some of her talent here.
Yeah.
She knows more than she lets on. All right, Annie, you're up.
Okay.
Amazing. If you're smart, you're spelled wrong. If you're smart, you will read this book. Believe the end is coming and save yourself now with JC.
Easily the middle one. The conspiracy theory. Those people can't
Ralph
spell.
Epperson?
Those people can't spell your correctly.
I'm sorry, the answer was H.G. Wells.
Oh, really?
The sci-fi writer.
Wow. All right, after
So
round
surprising.
1, 0-0. It's a dead heat.
Yeah.
That's a hard one.
All right, Holly, you're
Yes.
up. You can put the first points on the board here. When I was a child, I saw the Thief in the Night movies. Because of violent crime I witnessed as a kid the Cold War and served as an adult in law enforcement, I have no doubt that what this author says is at least 80% true.
I have to go with Epperson again. I think Robertson's too old to have watched those Thief in the Night movies as a child.
Oh, I
Oh,
like
that
the
is correct.
reasoning.
You are on the board.
Yeah.
I like the reasoning there.
Well, I think the reviewer said that they watched them as a kid.
Oh, yeah,
But
that's
regardless, you got it
Yeah.
right.
Either way, you got it right. Yeah.
I,
You're-
I
correct
also
is correct.
noticed.
I got it right.
I also noticed that for some reason in this review, because I'm looking at Tyler's cheat sheet here, Cold War is in quotes for a reason that's not determined. It's almost half the implication is the Cold War is not
implying the Cold War
happening.
was optional,
Yeah.
right?
The quote
Cold War and
unquote
the Thief in the Night
Cold
movies are-
War. Yeah. The
All
quote
right.
unquote Thief in the Night movies. I quote
Andy.
unquote have left 7 chips in the tip bowl and I'm gonna leave the party before anyone asks who did it. With a to-go plate.
All right, Annie, here's your chance to tie it up.
I'm ready.
As an academic, I have no reservations in declaring this a, all caps, must read.
Ooh.
An
H.G.
academic.
Wells. I'm going H.G. Wells.
I'm sorry, Annie, the answer was Pat Robertson.
That seems untrue. That seems impossible.
There hasn't been one right. No, there's one right
It's
answer. so
crazy.
far.
You got to think about this. I mean, like H.G. Wells is classic. Conspiracy theories are never out of fashion. But Amazon came along well after Pat Robertson wrote this book. This means these people are going
Amazon
back.
came along well after H.G. Wells wrote his book.
I know,
too.
but I'm saying, but at least that's like, like historical, whatever. It's not like current events. It's
Right.
just Pat Robertson's book is just outdated by the time these Amazon reviewers have read it. It's just crazy
You're
to me
right.
that they're even reviewing it. But
They're
anyway,
taking
all right.
time to review it. Yeah.
Right.
All right. Holly, you gonna keep running up the score here?
I'm ready.
I see more clearly why many in our political sphere are working so hard to run up our national debt, to cause our nation's financial collapse, weaken our military, and eventually overthrow our country.
You chopped up.
I'm going to try Epperson again.
The answer was Pat Robertson.
Robertson.
Of course. Of course. It's so clear now.
If it has to do with
Wow.
money, it's Pat Robertson.
Come on, that's what I'm saying, Chandler.
I do notice the pattern here.
Chandler's seeing a theme.
Yeah.
Chandler's
Yeah.
dialed into a theme here.
All right, Danny
All right,
can
Andy.
tie it here, and then
Could you?
we'll do a final round for all the marbles worth 3 points. The next one will be worth 3 points. So
Wow.
All right, here we go. Scary how this book, written so long ago, is unfolding right before our eyes. All caps, scary, a must read for the political junkie.
And Annie, before you answer, can I note that political junkie is capitalized as if it is a proper noun? That this reviewer, I believe, thinks there's a person
Official
out there
designation.
named political junkie, or is that some sort of title? It's odd
Right.
capitalization choice, but noteworthy.
I feel real. I'm going to regret myself, but I feel real H.G. Wellsy again.
I'm sorry, Annie. The answer was A. Ralph Epperson.
Epperson, yeah. That was I just couldn't. I know.
It's still anybody's game unless
I'm off my game today.
unless
Luckily for Holly,
gets
she's
this
going
one.
to get the book she's longed for.
If Holly gets this one correct, it is out of reach for Annie. But if she misses it,
do my
Annie still
best.
has a chance.
Oh,
right,
and this is
all
a
right.
hard one.
Hard one. All right, are you ready?
Yes.
One star, too wordy.
Has this person ever read a book before? All it is words. It's literally words.
Right.
Like to call a book too wordy, all it is pages and pages of words. 1 star. I love it. Okay.
That's it?
Yeah,
That's all you
the
get.
Oh gosh, bless your heart. I was waiting too, Holly.
This
I was
is a
waiting
hard
too.
one. Okay, it's too wordy. What? H.G. Wells.
Unbelievable. That is correct, Holly.
Oh,
You are
man.
the winner.
Wow.
She's out of reach.
Okay, I'm just curious. Just for posterity's sake, what would Annie's final one have been?
All right. I'm
You
gonna actually
should do
skip-
the last one. You
I'm
should
going to
do-
skip to the tiebreaker.
Yeah.
And I had a potential tiebreaker. I want to throw that one out. Annie, this would have been your answer. I sure am sorry I bought this. I feel like such a simpleton. The only thing this book might be good for is sleep apnea. Used with a strong toss of rye. Otherwise, don't go near this book unless you have a cross and a charm of garlic. This is the New World Bore.
Oh gosh.
They were proud of that.
Yeah, they worked hard on that.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Andy, what would you have said? Just out of
Maybe Pat
curiosity.
Robertson.
That you would have been correct.
Yeah.
Wow. All right. Well, 4-3. Holly
But
wins
luckily-
it. Holly
Holly-
gets
Congratulations.
My
A
dad's
really
well-deserved
done it.
win.
self-published
Holly-
book about my family history.
Holly, put
Yeah,
your address.
congratulations, Holly.
Put your address in that DM thread, and the
excited.
book. And the book.
Thanks
will
for
be
joining
there.
us, Holly. And
Thank you.
congratulations on the snow melt up there.
Good
and
luck
being able to venture
homeschooling
outside.
today. Teach them
It's
everything.
been a long time coming.
And Holly, because there's no member of the Schrang family present with me, I will be autographing the book on their behalf. So it's quite the honor. It's quite the honor you have.
Do you
I
just
will
have an
treasure
extra
it.
box at your house, Jesse?
Oh, I got a shipment in.
Yeah, I thought you might have.
Oh my gosh. All right. Well, thanks, Holly.
Thank you.
Well, many thanks to World Vision for sponsoring this episode. Remember, you can learn how you can participate in the World Vision Global 6K for Water on May 4th by visiting worldvision6k.org. And if you want to come to Orlando, throw a /relevant onto that URL. Also, thanks to Quip for sponsoring the episode. If you go to getquip.com/relevant right now, you'll get your first refill pack for free with a Quip electric toothbrush. That's getquip.com/relevant. And thanks also to Rooney Mara and Garth Davis for joining us. Their film Mary Magdalene is out now. And after that conversation, it sounds like to me it's a really good Easter weekend kind of movie to go see. So
for sure.
Go check that out. On that note, we'll wrap things up. I'm Cameron Strang.
I'm Chandler String.
I'm Jesse Carey.
Tyler Huckabee.
I'm Annie F. Downs.
We will see you all on Tuesday. Happy Easter, everyone.
Then it came to me in a flash of light with the sycamore tree in the dead of night, the bottom barrel in the longest day, in the hardest winter, in the falling rain. Sun lightning, sun lightning, sun lightning. Held my head up.
Thank you for listening to the Relevant Podcast. If you like what you heard, be sure to leave us a review on iTunes. Check out other shows from the Relevant Podcast Network in the podcast section at relevantmagazine.com. And while you're there, browse exclusive podcast merchandise at our online store. Make sure to subscribe to Relevant Magazine. Info is available at relevantmagazine.com/subscribe.
No shiplap here. Let's go.
Relevant Podcast Network.